Hey, what is going on, everyone? This is Mohammed, your personal PMP coach from Certify with Ease. Coming back to you guys with another problem-solving video. We are going to solve problems together. We're going to train our PMP mindset. We're going to follow the three-step methodology so you are best prepared for the exam, okay? Again, like always, we have this PMP Accelerator course updated for the most recent exams. Make sure you sign up. Okay, check out the link. It's going to be in the comment section. It's going to be in the description. You can check it out with our PMP advisor Shubs, and he will basically show you around the course. But just to give you a quick summary of what you get, you only get what you need. Nothing else, nothing extra. This course has been made for busy professionals like yourself, working full-time, responsibilities after work. You don't have time to do everything for 3 to 4 months, right? So look at this. Instead of memorizing the textbook, spending months trying to memorize it, these are the core concepts you need to master. We've explained everything you need about these subtopics, okay? And then after that, you have your common PMP exam scenarios. Every single scenario you can expect on the exam. I don't want to reveal it. Actually, you know what? Check this out, right? All the common exam scenarios, but we break it down for you. And we basically help you understand exactly what you need when it comes to, for example, handling a risk. You have the PMP mindset principles, okay? But not just the principles itself, but the approach, how to answer questions. And then you got the mindset training, which is absolutely essential. Foundational questions, the most important part of the course. These questions cover every single topic you can expect on the exam. Super important. You got the cheat sheet terms, right? The most common terminology that you have to know with a simple breakdown. No pages worth of breakdown, simple breakdown. And then you got your non-timed exam simulator, so you can answer questions without the pressure of the timer. And then you got your final, the timed exam simulator, okay? So book that appointment. Shubs will take care of you, and he will help you out as much as possible. Shubs is our program success coach. He took the exam with our program, and he passed it in 12 hours, right? He wanted to maximize the pressure on himself so that he knows exactly what you guys are going through. Book that appointment with him, and let's get you certified, okay? All right, so the rules again, we're going to read the answers first, and then from there, we're going to read the question if needed, okay? We're going to train that PMP mindset. So A, agree on a predictive approach, but apply agile concepts under the project management umbrella. It's a really strange way of phrasing it. The PMP exam will not phrase it this way, okay? Just to let you guys know. Ensure the stakeholder that an agile approach will deliver all of the expected results in a shorter period of time. Now, is that true? Is that true? Just because you have an agile approach, does it mean that it's going to take a shorter period of time? It might take longer, so it's not true, all right? This is false. Document the requests and escalate to upper management to consider a modification. We don't escalate, okay? This is principle number 8. Where are our principles? One second over here, guys. Principle number 8, okay? D, propose a phased project approach with multiple small interactions and build trust with the stakeholder through frequent value delivery. So we have this word here, our V word, right? If we look at our principles, look for value in the answer. I'm going to go with D because A, B, and C don't sound right, but also we have this concept of small interactions, meaning iterations, and frequent value delivery, which is that's just a definition of agile, but more specifically of the word value in the answer. So I like D. We're going to go with this one. Everyone chose D as well, so we're good there, okay? And we also see that, you know what? We're trying to persuade the stakeholder to use an agile approach. Awesome. So we didn't have to even read the question and we got to the answer, right? That's the power of the mindset principles. All right. A, hire a company in country B to perform a quality check before shipment. Okay. Evaluate the procurement contract to determine the agreed upon specifications. I like that. You got to evaluate, take a step back, guys. Principle number 1, the most common, the most powerful principle. That's your superpower. Principle number one. Escalate, we don't escalate. Okay? Remember, guys, on your exam, it's okay to discuss something. It's okay to meet with the department, but we don't use the word escalate. I know study hall uses it sometimes, but on your actual exam, avoid those responses. Add additional tasks to cut the received part according to specification. So what happens if we add an additional task? What happens? What are the implications? Let's think outside the box. You add an additional task. What happens? More costs. Extending the schedule probably. More risks. So we don't want that. Okay? And if we look at our principles, we can state that, you know what? More costs, right? Or a delay. That's what's being implied here. I'm going to go with B. Awesome. Okay, without even reading the question, we got to B as well. Maybe it's a little bit bigger for you guys. Actually, you know what? It might be distracting. So let's just go back. Question 88. Awesome. So ensure that the project would be the highest priority for all team members. Okay, well, nothing wrong there. No principles being contradicted. Planned and scheduled, but because they use the past tense ensured, the question I'm assuming says, what should the project manager have done? Okay, actually I see right now, what should the project manager have done? Now, I love these questions, guys, because they're the easiest ones to solve. All you have to do is understand the problem and go through the list of answers and ask yourself which one of these answers will totally just take away the problem, will mitigate the entire problem. Okay, let's actually do this right now. Okay, instead of reading all the answers, just to prove to you guys that this works and that you can apply this to your exam. A PM has team members around the world in many different time zones. Project work frequently stalls because the people in one office need to wait until another office is awake to have questions answered. What should the project manager have done? We have a global team, different time zones, different working hours. One team is awake, one team is sleeping. What should the project manager have done? Will this solve the problem? No. They're still in different time zones. You're not going to have one team in across the world working at 3 a.m. in the morning. Planned and scheduled tasks and work packages to overcome geographical and time zone challenges. Okay, yeah, we can plan and schedule tasks and work packages. Okay, yeah, I see how it does, yeah. Learn more about how each team member prefers to communicate before assigning project work. Will this solve the problem? Is it a communications issue? It's not a communications issue. It's an issue about one team literally not being awake when another team is. Time zone differences. Use communication tools such as video conferencing so different offices could communicate. Again, it's not a communication issue. We should plan and schedule tasks and work packages to overcome geographical and time zone challenges. All right? There we go. We got it. Okay? Love these questions, guys. What should a project manager have done to avoid? This means what? You just simply go through the list of answers. All right, this one solved the problem. You select it and you're done. Okay? Easiest types of questions. Unfortunately, most exam questions are not like that. You won't have as many what should the project manager have done questions, but you'll still get a good number, maybe 10 or 15, which is better than having only one or two, right? Question 89. So initiate a change request to obtain additional funds from the management reserve. Anytime we pull extra funds from anywhere, right? Whether it be for out of money, we're just seeking extra funds, management, or contingency reserves. I don't like those solutions. Anything that has to do with extra money, I don't like that. But you guys let me know in the comments what the difference between management and contingency reserves are. It's a very, very two important terms that everyone should know. Meet with the project team. Okay, I like this. And customer to brainstorm about potential solutions. Very powerful solution. Very good. This is a good answer. Schedule a high priority meeting with the project stakeholders to discuss the issue. Ooh. All right, B and C are both good. Right, we're involving more people when it comes to the stakeholders. They're both good answers. We're going to have to read the question then. Collaborate with the relevant stakeholders on implementing the risk response plan. Oh, okay. Okay. Now, technically, these are principle number one, right? Both of these. So D won't be will be selected. However, if we are literally talking about a risk that has materialized, this is your answer. Okay, let's look at the question now. The PM is reviewing a project's progress and notices that one of the risks has become an issue. There we go. What should the PM do to address the situation? Right? Now D, you're probably wondering, Mohammed, B and C, principle number one. Yes, I understand. But they're telling us that a risk has become an issue. And if you really think about it, D is also principle number one. We're collaborating, we're meeting, we're discussing, and we're looking back at the response plan. Right? We're referring back to it. So this is really important, especially when there's a risk. Let's see what people have selected. Exactly. Okay, question number 90. During the planning phase, when processes for scope definition, activity duration, and sequencing will be performed. Okay, I see. So this question is more about what phase should we do, whatever the particular situation is about. So be close to the end of the project, as the forecast will be more accurate and most risks will already be mitigated. In the initiation process, as it happens concurrently with the project contract and project charter, as soon as possible, as project delays can significantly be avoided. Okay, so this is not your typical situation-based question. This is knowing about the project phases. So let's read this question. A PM has begun a complex oil refinery project. Okay. Although the project is in the initiation phase, the sponsor keeps asking for concrete dates. Ooh, okay. When do we put these concrete dates down? When do things get really detailed? Which phase is that? Initiation, not really, right? For example, you got your project charter. Project charter is very general. The planning phase is where we literally plan, right? The word says plan. We plan our detailed maps, our detailed plan of actions in order to finish this project. Okay, so that's the phase that you wanted. Close to the end of the project doesn't make sense. Initiation phase, like we said, no. As soon as possible, not really, right? We want to have concrete things for everything, and we're not going to avoid any project delays. We're not going to avoid it by just putting it by completing everything in the initiation phase. Delays usually come about in the execution phase, when we're actually executing on the project and we realize that, okay, this is not working out. That's when it actually becomes a problem. Okay. Awesome. All right, let's move on. There's like 1,000 something questions. I want to get through all of them eventually. And then I'm going to combine everything in one video, which is going to be massive. But just in case you guys want everything in one file. Okay. A, awards are given to all team members for playing a role in the project and undertaking the assessment. Performance improvement programs are organized for all team members who are assessed. All team members rotate their job schedules, meaning to make them more versatile. Assessment results are kept private. Okay, so let's read this question. I don't even know what it's talking about. After conducting a performance assessment, the PM identified that some gaps still exist. What should the project manager ensure? Okay, so we did a project performance assessment, and some people are not meeting the metrics. We need to ensure that they do. What should we do? I'm not going to give awards out. Performance improvement programs are organized for all team members who were assessed. All team members rotate their job schedules immediately to make them versatile. Assessment results are kept private and not shared. This is a very strange question, guys. Right? It's a very strange question. And this is what I mean also, a little side note. A lot of you have been practicing on questions that are not accurate, that don't accurately represent the exam. Now, this file over here, a lot of them are good questions, but some questions like this are kind of weird. Our course, very high quality questions. We went through every single one of them. Just putting that out there. Very important, okay? So let's read this again. After conducting a performance assessment, the project manager identifies some gaps that still exist. We need to solve this problem of this gap. But the answers don't really match the question. What should the project manager ensure? Awards are given to all team members for playing a role in the project and undertaking the assessment. Performance improvement programs are organized for all team members who are assessed. Okay, I guess that's the best solution. All team members rotate their job schedule immediately to make them versatile. So that's not the problem, right? We didn't say that, you know what, team A or member A does not know how to do member B's tasks. Assessment results are kept private, so this is not going to help us. We should actually make them public so they know exactly what they're being assessed on. So I'm going to go with B. Exactly. All right. Awesome. 92. So A, discuss the changes with the client and jointly make the decision on how to proceed. Okay, principle number 1. Nothing wrong with that. Reject the changes and stay on the original course as initially agreed with the client. So we never reject changes or opportunities. Okay. Oh. Yes, exactly. Never reject changes or opportunity. Review the risk register to see if the mitigation have already been outlined for the scenario. Okay. If it's a risk-related problem, that sounds like a good solution. Review the changes and make the decision based on the project team's recommendations. Okay, so I already could tell you that's going to be A or D. A or D, sorry. Why? Remember what we said in our past videos. When you have two answers that are very similar, but they just swap one piece of information out, like for example, A involves the client and D involves the project team, it's either one or the other. It's like saying, let's say you have 4 solutions, and one of the solution A says consult or refer to the communications management plan, and then D says refer to the engagement management plan, and then B and C are like totally different. It's either one of those similar answers. It's either A or D. And that's a trick that you can use for your exam, okay? That's one of the patterns that we've seen. Now, the project team, we always discuss with them. But because the situation directly involves this client, it will make sense to discuss it with the client first, especially because this client has been less engaged, and then decide on how to proceed. And that could be asking your project team for the recommendation. Okay? So I would do A first and then D. So one of the tricks that you guys could implement is when you're stuck with 2 solutions at the end, pick one or the other. Pick one or the other based on what you would do first logically. In this case, I would go to the client first. The situation directly involves the client. Awesome. All right, so just by looking at the answers for 93, this is not a situation question. Let's see what the question's about. Technicians scheduled to install internet service at homes of 3 remote call center agents who have different working schedules. Their FMs arrange time off to allow time for installation testing. The carrier sends an email to the project manager stating that one appointment is delayed for 2 days. What should the project manager do? Inform the product owner. C is the answer. Inform the relevant stakeholders. Right? So we don't like the word only. One of our principles over here. Yeah, only over here. 21. Okay? So let's see what the answer is. There we go. Okay? So you won't get a question like this. This is very basic, but in addition, it doesn't follow the situation-based format that the PMP has swapped over to. And unfortunately, a lot of study hall questions as well are outdated, right? They're very outdated. They would be much more helpful for the old exam, but the exam has drastically changed. And it's going to change again, guys. So make sure you get certified ASAP, right? I don't even know what to expect for PMBOK, the new PMBOK edition, and the new exams that follow. Okay, so question number 94. A, ask the team member to bring up the concern in daily stand-up, the next daily meeting, or daily stand-up. Send an email explaining the issue to all team members. Reassign the task to another team member. So we don't want to do this because it's going to create friction in the team. This is our principle number 3. Okay, imagine you're working hard on a project and you're spending a lot of time, and then your manager comes up to you and says, we're giving your task to James, right? It's gonna make you feel bad. You don't want to quit the company, right? Move the task to the next sprint. Okay, I don't really like this one because it kind of delays the solution. Read the question. A team member is in an agile project informs the project manager they might not be able to finish an assigned task on time, which could generate an obstacle for the rest of the team. Okay, yeah. So someone can't finish the task on time. What should we do? So we need to most definitely inform the team, right? They're going to be affected by this. We can either do A or we can do B. An email or a face-to-face meeting is always more effective than an email. Always remember that. So I'm going to go with A. Okay? And the daily meetings, it's every day. So the next day, you're going to have that meeting. You're going to bring up the concern. So there's no delay in addressing the problem. Awesome. So let's do one more problem, guys, and we'll end it off for this video. Let's take the traditional route and read the entire question and then answer according to our principles. This is exactly what you want to do for your exam. Obviously, don't skip out on reading the question. Very important. So a PM has been assigned to manage multiple agile project teams. The PM wants to empower the teams and make them self-organizing. What should the project manager do to create a positive environment? Okay, so problem statement is pretty simple. We want to empower the teams and make them self-organizing. What should we do? Help the teams in establishing and adhering to their ground rules and revisit after regular intervals. Okay, so this is not something that we want to do. Ground rules are important, but think about it. If you have so many rules, so many restrictions, what are you doing? You are micromanaging. And there's no way you are going to create an empowered, self-organized team by micromanaging them. Copy the ground rules established by another project and provide them to the teams. Again, okay, so this is about ground rules. Establish the team ground rules and share them with the team for strict adherence. Again, so it's not gonna help. Extract the organization policy process, customize them, and give them to the team to adhere to. That's a strange question. Out of all the answers they could have chosen, they chose to focus on ground rules. So copy the ground rules established by another project and provide them to the team. So that's not going to work. Another project, it's a different environment, different situation. They probably had different team members as well. That's not going to work. Establish the team ground rules and share them with the team for strict adherence. I don't like this word over here, guys. Extract the organization's policies and processes, customize them, and give them to the teams to adhere to. Okay, yeah, that's better. Why are we just focused on ground rules, guys? Ground rules are very simple. No phones during the meetings, no chit-chatting during the meetings, whatever it may be. Why not take everything, give them the organizer's policies, because you have to follow policies still, even if it's an agile project. Processes, right? An organization has specific processes. Tailor them to the team, to the project, and give them to teams to adhere to. Help the teams in establishing and adhering to the ground rules and revisit them after. No, I'm not going to select that. I don't understand. I don't understand why ground rules are the central focus. Maybe I missed some information in the question. A project manager has been assigned to manage multiple agile project teams. The PM wants to empower teams and make them self-organizing. What should the project manager do to create a positive environment? Okay, I see how A can be a solution, guys. Help the teams in establishing and adhering to the ground rules and revisit after regular intervals, which is great, You're revisiting it, you're not micromanaging them. I still can't wrap my mind around why we're just focused on the ground rules. If we're managing agile teams, they need to know about the company policies, and they want to be self-organized. Give them the information they need. Company policies, its processes, customize them according to your team, and give it to the teams to adhere to. Okay, so maybe the adhere part, but at the end of the day, even for a self-organizing team, there are some rules that you have to follow. Anyways, 100% of people chose A, but I'm still sticking to my guns and saying it's D. You guys let me know what you think in the comment section. It's a beautiful way to end off our question period. Let's start a discussion. Remember, the best way to learn is to discuss. If you don't agree with me on an answer, no problem. Let me know why in the comment section below. Okay? I want to see your reasoning. Take care for now. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Remember, we have a course that is going to get you certified. I guarantee it. We also have a guarantee in place, by the way. So if you don't get certified, you don't pay, right? So book that appointment with Shubs, and we will see you in the next video.